Hello and welcome to the Bot Box. For this last episode, and the one I recorded yesterday, I relied on my memory of when Spawn again had its fights. And I completely forgot about a little thing called Pinball and the Southern Annihilator and Sumo. So, before I go into the battle history of Tip Top, I am going to address this brain fart immediately and deal with this in chronological order. Which means starting with the Sumo in Heat A. Time for Spawn of Scutter versus Shunt. Spawn of Scutter tried to avoid Shunt and take on the house robot in turn, but Shunt quickly got Spawn of Scutter's side and pushed it off the sumo ring in just 8.03 seconds. Spawn of Scutter ultimately finished 10th. Not bad, middle of the road kind of score. So now on to Pinball in Heat E. Spawn of Scutter had 135 points to beat. That was Hypnotic's score from Heat B. Spawn of Scutter started off by sending barrels tumbling everywhere before hitting the 50-point target and tangling with the Kilolot. Spawn of Scutter then went for the 75-point target, first pushing dead metal onto the target, which didn't set it off, before hitting it themselves. They released the multi-balls, or release option, and hit another 50-point target before hitting the other barrels. Then time ran out. They scored 245 points, which put them at the top of the leaderboard. They were in fact still at the top of the leaderboard when their heat aired. Then in the very next heat, by this I mean Heat M, Gemini, a clusterbot flipper, beat their score by 10 points. They ended up coming second overall. So, we fast forward past the heat, past Panic Attack beating Spawn of Scutter in the series semi-finals, and on to the Southern Annihilator. Now, this one I really do not know how escape my brain, because I remember watching the Southern Annihilator back when I was 7. So in the Annihilator, Thrackbot, Attila the Drum, Lifters, Onslaught and Behemoth, Axe-Stroke Lifterbot versus Getrix, which you might remember from Spawn of Scutter beating them in the Heat semi-finals, and Crusher Razor. I don't need to introduce them, do I? Spawn of Scutter immediately went for Razor, but wisely got out the way whilst Razor had to go at Vercingetorix. Spawn of Scutter instead went for Attila the Drum, pushing it across the arena and out of focus. This is an Annihilator that contains Razor. When Spawn of Scutter was in focus once more, it let Attila the Drum B to have a go at Behemoth before going after Onslaught. Behemoth tried to flip them but had no joy there. There was a multi-robot pile-up after that, in which Razor focused on Vercingetorix, Behemoth tried to flip both Razor and Vercingetorix. Spawn of Scutter ended up hitting side on, and Onslaught tried to have a go at Behemoth, but paid the price for this when Spawn of Scutter hit them with a spike, and that turned Onslaught over. Annihilators are fun. So, Spawn of Scutter went after Behemoth before going for Vercingetorix, which had died. Behemoth joined in, allowing Spawn of Scutter to spike Vercingetorix. Ceased was scored soon afterwards as time had run out, and it was Vercingetorix who was ruled out. So So, on to the next battle. The first robot to go after Spawn of Scutter was Razor. But Onslaught lifted Razor out of the way and had to go at Spawn of Scutter. Spawn of Scutter then went after Behemoth, though they only freed the robot attacking Behemoth to go after Spawn of Scutter. And the robot attacking Behemoth was Razor. So Razor put a hole in Spawn of Scutter. Onslaught lifted both the robots before Behemoth joined in, and the two lifters took Razor and Spawn of Scutter over to the flame pit, though it was Razor getting more of the cooking than Spawn of Scutter. On their release, Razor was on its side and Spawn of Scutter was awkwardly stuck on top of them, but whilst Razor was self-righting, Spawn of Scutter wisely got out of there. They did return when it became clear Razor was having trouble self-righting, basically just add to these problems, before getting out of the way once more when Razor was back on all four wheels. However, once Razor were done with attacking Behemoth, because that's who they went after once on all four wheels, they went after Spawn of Scutter again, only for Onslaught to come to their rescue once more and flip Razor. Onslaught also ended up upside down, but self-righted before Razor did. Razor landed on Spawn of Scutter's weapon area, so got spiked for its trouble. Then stayed away until it became clear Razor was having trouble self-righting again, but this time put the Crusher back on its wheels. Oops. Behemoth ended up paying for that because Razor attacked relentlessly, and it was only when it seemed Behemoth was dead that Razor went for someone else. That someone else was Spawn of Scutter. It ended up getting a hole put in it. The result? Spawn of Scutter was dead. However, with Behemoth also poorly and time running out, the judges were called in. One of them was going to go out. Spawn of Scutter was deemed to be the one that was the most dead because Behemoth still had a tiny bit of life left in it. Spawn of Scutter, however, had completely lost reception, which is why they were no longer moving. Thus endeth the Addendum. Spawn of Scutter gets bonus points for that at Pinball run. And, well, it did alright in the Annihilator and in Sumo as well, so yay. Normally I would ask who's next, but I already know that. I already know it is Tip Top. So, tune in next week to learn about Tip Top's battle history. Did it do anything interesting? We'll find out. Until then, Carlson244, out.